back, everybody, to another episode of Artist to Artist. This is a special edition, the Artist Edition. I have a very special guest in the building today, Gorilla Nems himself.
Yeah.
How you feeling, my brother?
Every day is a blessing, man. I'm grateful.
I like how that sounds. I've been kind of watching your story for a minute. For those who may not know your story, just not artists that just came around. Like, you found a lot of recent success, but come to find out that you've been grinding for years and years and got a hell of a story from, like we all do, ups, downs, pitfalls, and the rise after the fall, you know what I mean? Like, so I don't know if you want to make people familiar where you from.
I'm from Coney Island. I'm from the bottom of New York City, man. If you look at a map of New York City, I'm right at that. Coney Island's at the bottom. Nobody wants to go to Coney Island. Everybody knows of Coney Island because the rides, but the rides is like a 3-block radius over here. Then there's a whole community of like 30,000 people that people don't, in the wintertime, they just forget about. And ain't no really rapper got on from there. There's rappers from there, but nobody really got on from there.
A few basketball players.
Yeah. Right. Bashy, Steph, Lance.
Yeah.
Couple, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Shit, so how does it feel to be one of the few artists that really has some success coming out of Coney Island as one of the few?
It's always been it's like a dream, man. You know what I'm saying? Like I never seen myself doing no 9 to 5 since I'm little. I don't know. I got something in me that just wouldn't accept living a regular life since I was little. Like, I knew my pops died when I was 4. My mom's was always gone. I was just in the crib by myself.
You went to high school in Coney Island too?
Nah, I went to high school all over the place. I went in Brooklyn, Staten Island, the Poconos. That's where I started writing raps, in the Poconos.
So when did you start doing music?
Like 15. Because when I went to the Poconos, I had to stay with my grandparents because I couldn't go to no New York public high school. And I ain't really with nobody out there in the Poconos. I would come home every weekend. So I would just go to school during the week, come home, and I ain't have nothing to do. My grandparents was old. I just was locked in my room and started writing rhymes.
So was this early 2000s, the 90s?
This is like the late 90s, like 99, 98. So
when you got your first, when would you got your first notoriety in the game before?
Fight Club.
Fight Club.
Fight Club. So I started writing rhymes in the Poconos. I didn't have no friends. I ain't with nobody out there, but I seen kids rhyme. And I would be like, I know I could come up with some better than these bums. You know what I'm saying? And I just wrote a rhyme one day, and I was like, yo, the nicest dude. I was like, yo, I want to battle you. So I started off writing battle raps. And then after that year, I came back home to New York, and I just kept going, started going to the studio. And then my man was like, yo, there's a battle going on. I want to bring you to it. And I was like, nah, I don't really want to go. He was like, come through. I went. It was the Fight Club. But Fight Club, people don't know, it was like invite only at first. So I beat the first guy. They hit me, yo, we doing another one too. And I just kept going. And I just kept beating everybody. This is before like really the internet. So it was just like magazines. I was the champ of Fight Club before anybody. The first one, before any URL. I think I got like 25, 26 wins, like
that's
1
crazy.
or 2 losses. Nah, like 3, 4 losses.
So since the Fight Club till now, you want to talk about a little bit of what it took to get here?
Oh, hell yeah. Well, with the Fight Club, like, since I was the top guy there, I was dealing with Riggs Morales at Shady, right? So they was like, yo, we want to sign you. But I was mad. I was fucking up. I was going in and out of jail. I wound up doing a 1.5 to 4.5 for robbery. Then I was fucked up on drugs for a minute. I didn't smoke crack. I didn't shoot needles, but everything else I was doing. And they was just like, yo, you more of a liability than an asset. They stopped returning my calls. I was like, damn, that was my shot. And then I became homeless. I was all fucked up. And I really just started just heavily on drugs, sniffing dope. You know what I'm saying? Sniffing coke, all types of crazy shit. And I was homeless for a minute. Like sleeping on the beach in Coney Island, like on the lifeguard chairs in the wintertime, homie. In the staircases. And I said to myself, like I was on like like a 3-week run. Probably didn't shower. I was robbing everything in Coney Island and fucking dollar cabs, people, for just everything. And I just seemed, I don't know, I seen myself from like the outside looking in for, I don't know, maybe it's like a moment of clarity or psychosis. I don't know what the fuck it was. But it was like, yo, I could keep going how I'm going, and I'm gonna be dead real soon. Cause I had people, I had all types of shit going on. Or I'm gonna be in jail again, but this time for a longer period. Or I could stop everything right now and fucking live my dreams. And I had been to like, jail didn't make me stop doing drugs, fucking rehabs I've been to, fucking church people praying over. I never could stop. That one night, I went to my mother's house and I was like, Ma, please, let me stay at your crib. I want to stop. And I never touched nothing from that date. That was in 2009. And I never touched nothing from, I don't smoke weed, I don't drink. I don't hit my little vape, my little nicotine shit, but other than that, there ain't no drugs. I don't do nothing since then, since 2009. And ever since I started that shit just started. Once I started that journey, my life just started taking off. And then, you know, because Paul Rosenberg, Eminem's manager and the head of Shady, and he was the head of Def Jam, they banned me from Shady.
I see Paul all the time in the gym.
A word?
Yeah, we work at the same gym all the time.
I just spoke to him. I said, yo, I'm in the studio with Jim. I got to go meet with him tomorrow. But back then, I had wrote "Fuck Your Life" on the doors of Shady. But I was just tagging up. And he banned me from the building. They stopped fucking with me. And look, from just kept my head down, just kept putting in work. Just kept putting in work. You know what I'm saying? Being outside, doing the necessary things. And then fucking 10, 15 years later, he signed me.
How that felt being that full circle moment? Did Paul ever tell you why he circled back to sign you?
I'm a big believer in, see, a lot of people see me on the internet and they think, like, this guy's a asshole, or with the don't ever disrespect me, that I'm ignorant, or it's an act. A lot of people think it's an act. But then you meet me in real life and you're like, oh, nah, this is him. You know what I'm saying? So I think Paul, a lot of people get it misconstrued that I'm putting on the act or I'm fronting or something. But when you meet me, I'm the same person I am online and the same person I am in real life. This is me. I don't put on the front for nobody. If you don't like me, fuck your life. And he seen that, and then he, you know, they see I'm not about no bullshit. I'm about my business. You know what I'm saying? I take this shit serious. I don't, like I said, I don't drink, I don't smoke. How I have fun is working.
So did you have the podcast or television show before you got signed to Paul and them?
The podcast. That's right when Bing Bong shit happened. Revolt came to me, and they was like, "Yo, you want to do a podcast?" I was like, "Nah, I don't want to do a podcast."
The Bing Bong, is this something you just started out of nowhere?
Yeah, I was doing merch, so I worked for sanitation. I was a sanitation worker right up the block. I just seen they got a garage. So when I came home from jail at 23, my mother was like, "Yo, take this test, or you can't be paroled to my house." I was like, I'm not taking that time. I want to be a fucking city worker. That's the only job you could have a felony in, though, city job. I took the shit. I got 100 on it. I was mad high. I don't know how I got 100. I got 100. But they didn't call me for like 6 years. By the time they called me, I already had stopped doing drugs for like 4 years. I could give them clean piss, all that, so I started working for them. And when I started working before them, I had stopped doing drugs and I started hustling. But then when they called, I was like, I can't do this and have a city job. I got to pick right now. You know what I'm saying? And when I first was getting the checks from sanitation, I was like, I can't survive off of this. I just got a new apartment. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was just getting my shit on track. I was like, but I can't do a legal hustle, so I got to start doing something. I was like, what I got? I said, I got my merch, my G logo. You know, once I stopped doing drugs, I got fat. I used to be skinny. I got fat like a fucking gorilla. So I said, my logo is a G with gorilla head. Boom. And it's fuck your life. Everybody, even if you don't like me, you'll buy a shirt that says fuck your life. So I started doing the merch shit. And then the merch shit just fucking was taking off. Then I bought a house. I bought my mother a house. And just off the merch, not even off the sanitation shit. Not even off no record deal neither, just strictly off of merch. And I would show my merch every week. I would just do limited drops. Yo, we dropping this. I'm making 100 pieces. Once it sells out, even my fucking grandmother can't get this shit. You know what I'm saying? So I used to show every week what I was doing. So I used to be like, check this, bang, bang, bang. I don't know, maybe one day I must have got some pussy. I was in a good mood. I don't know what the fuck was going on, but I was like, bing, bang, check this, bang, bing, bang, bing. People started laughing. I was like, oh, I got something here. And I just kept saying it. Then we started saying it on the block and in Coney Island. And I was like, oh, I got something. And Side Talk Kids was like, yo, we want to do an episode with you. I was like, come through. And then when they came, I was just bing bong. Yo, say that. Yo, Byron, the bum here, break dance. Say bing bong. I directed that whole shit for them. And then the bing bong shit fucking took off. And then I seen the president say it, and I was like, I quit sanitation. Well, I ain't quit. I just stopped going. I just was like, yo, I'm never going back again. Because that's when I started doing walkthroughs for more than fucking...
So what made you start doing the podcast or the show that you do on
the podcast Revolt? So they hit me. I was like, I don't want to do a podcast. But then one day Exhibit came to the block. He was hit me. Never had met him. And was like, yo, I want to come through your block, chill out with you. He came through, cracked a 40. He's chilling with me on the block in beach chairs.
So people know you from YouTube success, or like how do people know?
However the fuck they know me, they know me. Some people know me. Some little fucking babies and old ladies in Iowa might know me from Bing Bong. Some people might know me from Don't Ever Disrespect Me.
Exhibit knew you from...
He knew me from rapping, but the Bing Bong, once Bing Bong was, at that time, that shit was the biggest shit when Bing Bong came out. You know what I'm saying? It was used over 1 billion times. There's 8 billion people in the world. So it was used 1/8 of the fucking population of the world.
God bless you.
So the merch shit went crazy too. It was crazy. But so Exhibit hit me. Y'all want to come to your block? I want to see where that Bing Bong shit happened originally. So I guess he knew me from the Bing Bong shit. But then he was like, yo, I'm doing an album. I want you to... So he knew about the rap and shit too. But as a fan, I'm a student in the game. I used to just, before drugs, it was fucking going to the CD store, buying CDs and tapes and everything. So I'm a mad student in the game. So when I was sitting with him, I was just asking him shit that I always wanted to know. Like, yo, Exhibit, yo, you fuck with the alcoholics. What happened with that? Yo, you do this. And I was like, yo,
that's crazy.
Yeah, facts.
The alcoholics,
facts.
That's crazy.
So I was like, this shit is fire. So it just rang a bell in my head when Revolt said, yo, we gonna throw this. At first I said no, but then they said, we gonna throw this money at you. I was like, yeah, I'm with it. And I said, well, how am I differentiate? Yes, I said, well, I had Exhibit come, I had DJ Muggs come, and I just asked them questions like a fan. So, matter of fact, I'm just gonna put beach chairs outside my store. Well, it wasn't the store yet. It was just the block we chilled on. And I was like, yo, I'm just gonna do it on the block and call it Outside with Gorilla Nems. And that shit just took off.
So what led you to get the store?
That block, 16th and Mermaid in Coney Island, a lot of times when I would do the limited drops, I would meet people on the block. That was just like the headquarters, had the barbershop there. My cousins, before they passed, was running the, you know what I'm saying? So that was just where I met everybody. And then I got there, I was like, yo, when that fucking cell phone store finishes, I'm gonna fucking open up my shit and just sell my merch here. And, you know, we facilitated the process of it getting out of there, and it got out of there, and I took the shit over.
Nah, it's fine. I need people to hear this and shit like that to see how you took control.
And I wanted to show, like, yo, you don't gotta leave Coney Island. I wanted people in the community to see, like, you don't gotta leave. Like, Coney Island is fucking miserable, especially in the wintertime. There's people killing. It's the hood, just like every other hood. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So what I did is I was like, I don't want to wait for this shit to get gentrified to beautify this shit. So I started bringing artists in from all over the world doing murals. When my cousins Ricky and Takeover got killed, I did a mural for them by a world-renowned artist called BK Fox. And when she did that, I was like, all right, this wall's open. I'm gonna have this dude from France come over here. I'm gonna have this guy come do this. And I made it like an art district. And I want the kids in the community to, when you wake up seeing fucking brick walls and fucking bums sleeping on the floor, man, you don't think there's much out of life, man. You get discouraged. If you wake up and see some dope art, see somebody that you see on fucking TV, the internet, everything, got a store there. I'll be on the block in my free time. You know what I'm saying? Like, it inspires people, man. So I ain't have no rapper to do that coming up. There wasn't nobody from Coney Island. You know what I'm saying? So I wanted to be that. That's why I take pride in that shit.
Nah, that's super fast. I want people to see what it takes some time to turn your dreams into reality. Like a lot of people wait for the right moment and always tell us, we talk about this all week, there's no such thing as the perfect moment. You gotta get up and just try some shit and do some shit sometime, and most people would just be stagnant, especially in this game. So
Yep.
and I also wanted people to hear a bit about your story, because I know it wasn't easy getting to where you are today. Like, and people think that
overnight.
success,
Yeah.
don't.
Shit took 20 years, this overnight success.
And they say overnight success usually take 10 years. Y'all took 20 years. So think about that. You know what I mean? Like I'm going on. I keep telling people like I'm going on feel like I'm going on like my third overnight success right now. Shit like that. You know what I mean? But that's how amount of years I've been in the game and shit like that. So with that being said, are you signed to Paul?
Yeah. I'm the I don't think there's no other artists, because he started Goliath Records. So he used to have Goliath Management. I think they had Blink 182, Action Bronx. They had a whole bunch of people that Eminem, that Paul managed, and there was Goliath Artists. So he just started another label called Goliath Records, and it's through Virgin. So it's like Goliath/Virgin. So I'm signed to a couple album deal.
That's a very good situation to be in. Paul is a super legend in the game when it comes to the industry.
Yeah.
Eminem, 50, all that type of shit, you know. And Action Bronson, I see that you've done a lot of things with him. How cool are you with him?
I ain't really do nothing with him.
No,
nah.
I didn't see you doing nothing with him.
Nah, I ain't do nothing. I mean, I'll see him. You know, it's regular rap shit. You see them and they show love, and then
I see a couple pictures and shit like that.
Yeah, I took some pictures with him. Definitely.
I thought the correlation between y'all being
nah, he's Queens. I'm Brooklyn.
I mean, being tied to the same label. Not the correlation of just being from New York. Nigga, I'm from Harlem, you from Brooklyn, but you know, same shit and shit like that.
Now I'm very big on. That's why a lot of times I don't reach out to other artists, because I'm very big on. I don't want my success tied to any other artist, and I feel like a lot of artists in the game do that. Like they latch on to somebody that might be more popping at the time than them, or something like that. I'm very big on doing it on my own. Sometimes to my own detriment.
Yeah, you gotta take. I mean, I totally feel how you feel, but I don't think you should take it as you doing business or you building a rapport of an artist as your success is attached to theirs, and somehow they're responsible for. No, I don't believe it works like that at all. As you being an artist, I do believe that you need to build alliances and rapports with a lot of different artists and do as much music you can with a lot of different artists and shit like that. Like, that broadens your chances to have more success, also broadens their chances to have more success. Like, you have a fan base just like they have a fan base.
Facts.
There might be some artists that are bigger than you, but that don't mean that it's still not an even trade when it comes to y'all getting in that booth and making great music and your fans now become hit like vice versa and shit like that. But that's what the game is about. I don't think nobody deliberately saying that they are responsible for your success. I mean, I mean, there's only a few artists that you might be like, dang, but even with that, that's a gift to be able to do music with a big artist that might catapult you to success that you might not have gotten if you just try to do it on your own. Like, don't shoot yourself in the foot for you being a strong person and feeling that you could do it on your own. Nobody do nothing on their own when you look at the big picture. Like, you must have a team around you that's
absolutely
helping you. You heard? So you take it like that.
I'm learning a lot, but every day is a learning process.
The game is weird too. Like, you did, like, and I know that part too. Like, a lot of times I don't reach out because I don't want to be put in a weird place of feeling somebody's trying to. You did tell me no, or so I chose a lot not to do that. But then again, there's a lot of people that tell me, nah, that shit, nigga. What does it hurt to reach out? And so you want to do.
That's one thing I'm learning now. So a lot of times I'm like, nah, I ain't asking nobody for nothing. And then this year I actually switched my shit to, nah, I'm asking everybody for everything.
Yes.
Because what the fuck is they gonna say? No.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? I got to where I'm at by not being scared to fail.
And you've been in worse places. So
yeah,
what's a no to a nigga like you that been through
Facts.
everything? You know what I mean? Like, so that's what I also think about in this game. Like, for the amount of shit that we've been through and the places that we come from, like, the trials and tribulations of this game is really nothing. It could be motherfucking psychological because it's money involved, and this is a person's livelihood. But when you look at the big picture, the shit we go through in this game is nothing that we went through in real life before we got here.
Absolutely not.
You know what I mean?
This is easy.
Yeah.
This is super
You know what I
easy.
mean, a lot of people get lost in it, a lot of people get jaded in it, a lot of people don't understand business, but there's a lot of reasons for people that don't keep up in this game. But for the most part, everybody got the same opportunity if you were one of the few that hit the lottery of being successful in this game. That's all how you upkeep it and keep that going. It's, I mean, it's very easy to get rich.
But keeping it.
It's very hard to stay rich. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And the same thing with everything else in life and shit like that. Is all how you maintain it. You know what I mean? So it's like for you, like shit, fuck all that. You gotta broaden your chances at making this shit pop, because music is changing. It's not like it used to be with us. It's definitely so many people, and it's like a traffic jam when it comes to music right now.
Absolutely.
Like that, you know what I mean? For you to get through the traffic, you need a fucking motorcycle or something, shit like that. So it's like you gotta
do everything. You gotta
Yeah.
do the fucking look. You got it. You got fucking. There's like a fucking content paradise over here.
Yeah, that's what
you know what I'm saying. You got to do everything now as an artist. You got to be on the internet. The one thing that kills me is artists. Nah, I don't do that internet shit. You fucking yourself up. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I wasn't like that.
But you from the era before that, though. That's why.
I did the drip report and all that. But when I saw the podcast thing, I didn't really want to be categorized
As a podcaster.
as a podcaster. So I felt I had something more to bring to the game. But then looking at the way it's played is like, nigga, anybody that comes on the internet and does any type of show that's considered a podcast, no matter if they have an elaborate setup that looks like the Arsenio Hall show or look like Saturday Night Live,
Facts.
it's still considered a podcast. You know what I mean? So it was like, man, fuck this, man. I'm jumping in because people are making real money, and that's another thing I didn't understand is the money that could be made from this shit. When I really understand that, I'm like, oh, all right. This is what I got this building for. We about to go crazy in this shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm trying to put 30,
Nah, he
40
just showed me
shows
the
up and shit like
back,
that.
the church, the fucking Puerto Rico set. That shit is fire. That
Yeah.
shit is legendary.
I'm trying to work, and that's what we building here. Like building a multi-purpose content creation space for media.
I
and
need to say this too on camera too. That Jim, I was thinking on the way over here, like, yo, you can't be in the game this long without being mad professional, or just like I was saying, like people might just see me online and think I'm a certain way, or people might do the same shit with you. But from the moment I met you, I think it was at the heavy hitter shit. You've been nothing but a fucking good dude, like not gatekeeping, giving information to the younger artists, and like I really respect that. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes people got to give you your flowers, man. I know you get a lot of hate, but sometimes you got to get a lot of flowers too, man.
Yeah, I get the hate, but the hate is cool, man. I'd rather they talk about me and not talk about me. You know what I mean? Sometimes you can turn hate into love, man.
You
know what I mean?
capitalize off the hate. You're one of the few that capitalize.
I definitely do. If you don't understand hate, then you gonna let that shit tear you up. I've been going through hate all my life, man. Shit, they hated on Jesus, so who am I to really let that shit affect my mission and where I gotta go to and shit like that? You gotta lead by example. And if you got a bright light, you gonna shine wherever you go, whether they hating on you or not. They gotta see the light.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? You cannot avoid seeing the light, and that's one of the things they're hating on, is that bright light that they see. So sooner or later, they'll catch up and shit like that. But I've been trying to make my mark in this game, you know what I mean? Like, I've been one of the people that they've been gatekeeping on. You know what I mean? Like, they never let me in the gates the proper way. And if I do get in the gates, they got security guards trying to stop me from getting in the palace. And I get to the palace, they got the moat. Then I'm trying to get it over the bridge so I don't get hit by the piranhas. But, you know what I mean? Like, I've been blessed to find my way into the castle. I don't know if I got to the top of the castle yet, but I'm still finding my way. You know what I mean? I was outside the wall, so I'm telling you, it's not easy to be where I'm at now. But
You got past the moat with the alligators.
yes, man, and that's not easy. That's one of the hardest part of shit like that. And I've been through it all in this game, from being blackballed, talked about, said I couldn't rap, said I couldn't do this and shit like that. And I never let nothing discourage me because I know what I wanted to do and where I needed to go. Plus, I knew that there was nowhere else in this world that I could figure out how to make a dollar like this game.
Facts.
You know what I mean? Like, everywhere else would take a risk. from what I knew how to do. You know what I mean? This is not really no risk in getting a dollar. It's just more wit and smartness and how you could
maneuver. 100%. I said that, you know, there's nothing that this shit could show me that I ain't seen a million times, man. And sometimes you just gotta run through it, man. Fuck what people say. Embrace failures. That's one of my biggest things, man. You gotta embrace. Even when I was doing the Fight Club shit, when the out of 26 wins, I ain't learned nothing. The 2, 3, 4 losses that I had, that shit gave me the fire to come back and and learned a lot about me. And just even from the homeless shit and doing, you learn from your losses. And it's like merch. I might drop something this week that sells crazy. Drop something next week that fucking don't sell. Who gives a fuck? You know what I'm saying? You have to learn from your failures and stay consistent. That's it. When people know what to, know to look for you because you're constantly doing it, that's when you win. And that's what I'm all about, man. That's why I'm outside all the time. I'm not on no bullshit. I'm just happy to be here, man. This is a dream come true. I get to be around fucking artists that I've grew up listening to, yourself included. Ghostface, like I'm on Ghostface new album. I'm a big Ghostface fan, you know what I'm saying? Like shit like that is like, I get more out of that than doing shit with newer artists because it's like, I used to write shit in my fucking rap book. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, I want to work with this one. I want to do songs with this one.
Who were some of your favorite artists coming up?
I like early fucking Prodigy. Like people that molded my style was like Big L, because he ain't take no bars off. Every bar was hard. Prodigy. Sticky Fingers. I always like Sticky Fingers. I just did a joint with him. I was hype about that.
Onyx had a wave. I can't take nothing away from Onyx.
Facts.
Sticky Finger, Fragile. Them niggas had. I cut my hair all off when Onyx was out.
See?
I had a baldy one time because of Onyx. I had the baldy and the black flight jacket. I'll never forget that.
They was like the top guys when they first came out.
Super top guys.
Yeah.
Onyx was it. How about some hardcore? Yeah, we like
Facts.
it raw.
Even early Cam. Like because he was mad disrespectful.
Cam was a dog. I can't
mad disrespectful. Kidnap your family, make your brother eat your mother out. That shit.
Cam was nasty with it. He's still nasty with it. You know what I mean?
Even the first shit, Jimmy, I'm gonna get you up out of 5'8". You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we got some classics. Got
Facts.
some classics out there, shit like that. So what about now? You got any artists that you fuck with now? Any favorite artists or any artists that you fuck with personally?
I just keep my head down and just do shit, man. If I link with them and we do some dope shit, we do some dope shit. I like working more with like different producers than other artists. Like I'm doing a whole shit with fucking Ron Browse right now.
I respect that.
He got some hard shit, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I did. I did naturally I did the one with Heat Makers. That was El Capo. I did album with Harry Fraud.
Fraud's my guy.
I got an album I did with Scram Jones that I never put out.
Yeah, what happened? That was the same time I was doing that shit. And you ain't give me a fucking verse. You said you was gonna give me a fucking verse. You ain't give me a fucking verse.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. It be hard. Music is not as easy as people think, man. It be and the way music is put out right now, it's kind of like, and you trying to put music out fast, and you making so much music. Like I make music still every night. So I'll be I will forget whole albums that I've done and shit like that in the midst of my run going forward and shit like that. And sometimes if I do music and it might be like from last month or 2 months ago, then I start feeling like that music is outdated.
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
like,
and it's like forget
I gotta
it.
make some and I know it don't work like that, but that's how much we be moving in real time and shit like that. Like, but that's dope. Do you still enjoy the process of creativity, like doing the music
Absolutely.
and shit like that?
I love this shit. Because I'm still hungry. I feel like I ain't reached nowhere close to where I see myself going. You know what I'm saying? And that's always a big thing with me. Like, yo, I'm like people might think I made it or this is nowhere near where I see myself at. So I still look at myself like I'm on the grind, and I still be sometimes surprised when other artists that I fuck with, like, fuck with me. And they know who I am. That's just still because I treat myself and I have a mind state of, nah, I ain't do shit yet. You know what I'm saying?
Let me ask you this, and I don't know, what is your nationality?
I'm Puerto Rican and Irish.
All right, Puerto Rican and Irish.
Yeah.
Do you think the game accepts you the way you're supposed to be accepted?
Um,
Do you run across any stigmas when it comes to that?
Absolutely. There's stigmas, but I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna break walls down. I don't give a fuck when nobody thinks of me. I don't care if you try to blackball me. I don't care if you. I'm not gonna stop until I get my desired outcome. You know what I'm saying? There's not. Listen, when I was fucked up, people used to call me piece of shit. He's a this and that, and it used to be true. Nobody. Everything about me now, I'm a stand-up individual. I'm a man of my word. I do what I say and say what I do. And nobody could tell me that I'm not gonna get there. You know what I'm saying? There's nobody. Nobody could say, yo, Nems, you can't do this because I'm gonna do it twice. I don't care if there's a stigma. If you wind up thinking about shit like that, you'll bug out. And you'll be like, oh, I can't do it. Nah, they doing this. They ain't letting. Nah, I don't give a fuck, man. Fuck that.
So from sitting on that bench to being able to travel around the world and do everything you're doing now, did you have any inclination this would be you?
Absolutely. But I'm still on the bum level, though, in my mind. I still got to get. In my mind, I'm that guy. And like, where I'm going to be at, it's touching billions, being in movies, doing fucking comedy, fucking...
So rap was the one thing you always wanted to do?
Yeah, I'm a rapper. Like, if people be like, yo, what do you want me to put you as? Fucking content created? Like, nah, I'm a fucking rapper. I don't care. You might have got to know me through Don't Ever Disrespect Me or Bing Bong. That might fucking be your intro to me. But there's always going to be like, that's why I go and do freestyles a lot. I'll go to Sway or I'll go to Flex and just or on the radar and just be like, nah, let me let you know what I really do. You know what I'm saying? Because this...
Like, so, knowing who you are, of course, through social media, internet, crossing paths and shit like that. But I didn't know how nice you was until I seen you on the radar. I think I told you this.
Yeah, you
right?
told me that. That shit had me hyped, too. I was hyped when you said that.
I seen you on the radar. And then you black. Like, I haven't seen too many people black like that in a long time. So that also puts you in a different category in my mind. Like, oh, I kind of get what people would talk about. Kind of brings the whole story together and shit like that. You know what I mean? As far as the music is concerned, as far as why Paul would sign you to a deal and shit like that. Because, you know, for the average person that don't know your story or don't know that you really get busy like that, like, you know what I mean? It's two sides to the game. So it's like, but seeing that was like broke the barrier for me. Like, oh, I totally get it. Like, dog is dead nice. So it made me feel good to see that, you know. And then watching you working here, I'm always a fan of watching people work and shit like that. Because I've been working for years, but to see how you got in the booth and when you said you started with battle rapping, I could kind of hear that shit in your bars. From the way you approach bars, but the bars are so witty, they be slapping at the same time. It's just not like a battle rap. Like, I've seen battle rappers go into the booth and they don't come out the same way like they
in
do
person.
When they standing out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But that's why I stepped off of that.
You know how you figured.
Yeah.
That medium out how to twist that shit into put it on music.
100%.
You know what I mean? Like, so and I would say this for other battle rappers who want to create music, you gotta find that medium. Like you did, like some of y'all are incredible in front of a crowd and would like to turn it into music, bro. They'll figure out how to do that shit. Y'all could be some dope ass artists, man. Word, like
it's this game though. Sometimes you go through your whole life thinking, well, me, and I feel like other battle rappers do this too. Going through your whole life, fucking taking 2 hours on one line, fucking feeling like, yo, I gotta be the nicest out there. And then you come to a point when you get on in this game where like, yo, none of that shit fucking matters. None of that shit fucking matters at all. And it's mad fucking discouraging.
It's too.
But you also gotta dumb it down a little bit.
A small
percentage, yeah.
You know what I mean?
But for the masses,
select few. But for the masses, no.
You gotta dumb that shit the fuck down.
That shit does not count to the masses. You know what I mean? They're looking for pretty much the simplest, wittiest thing in the sticks. I mean, you know what I mean? So, but it's still each his own. Like, music is funny like that. Sometimes it might be, it's all about the feeling and shit like that. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I've tend to see. Like, it's no right way to do music. Because the moment we say, or you gotta dumb it down. Somebody might come
Smarten
with
it
some
up.
shit that
Yeah.
and it's going to hit. You heard? Like, so,
Facts.
you know what I mean? So it was like, hey, continue to give people that feeling is what I like to say about it. Before we get out of here, how you feel New York has been doing in the hip hop category as far as the country is concerned?
Yeah,
We've
I feel
been out
like
the race for a long time. You know what I mean? So how do you feel where we at?
we
right
ran this shit for mad long. You know what I'm saying? And when you run shit for mad long, people just start to get sick of you and hate. And I'm not saying that's was the case, but sometimes other shit got to get on as well. So then they went down south for a minute. They had their little run. Right now, I feel it's on the west. They got it right now. But everything comes back. You know what I'm saying? Everything comes back to where it all started at. I feel like we not at the top spot right now, but we'll be there soon because everything comes back to that, man.
I feel like in that spectrum, I feel like we're not at the top spot. We're definitely not where we used to be because it was a point in time not too long ago where we damn near wasn't even in the race.
At all.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And now it seems like we're starting to find our identity again. We got our own bop. Seems like New York is paying attention to New York, and that was big. That's
100%.
That's big. There was a moment that felt like New York wasn't paying attention to New York artists,
Absolutely.
New York music. We was listening to everything else, but what we make home, and we all fans of our own.
Because now we
music
even
and
got a
shit
new
like that.
competitor that was never even in the race, which is London, Europe. They was never even thought of. You know what I'm saying? You
I
never
mean,
even.
from the New York hip hop perspective.
Yeah,
it's like
from the New York perspective, nobody
but
even.
they cracked the code, so now it's like. you
And
know what I
now
mean? So
people are
it's-
biting they.
It's so many lanes, but to see that we back to a real steady pace makes me feel happy. And it's artists like you that's been contributing
Thank you.
to the resurgence of New York music, which is dope. You know what I mean? And that spreads out because they was putting this in that box for a minute and shit like that. You know what I mean? So I urge you to continue doing music. It seems like you got a hell of a hustle with you, man, and you need to talk a lot more about your hustle also because these people need to hear about what it really takes to put yourself on and turn your dreams into reality by taking control of your destiny, and that's by doing things that's going to work for you in your favor. And hearing you going from homeless to going cold turkey to getting a job, and getting a job was one of the most important things you said. I see so many people out here that like to hustle. We all like to hustle like that, but
That was my first job. That was like, having people get it. So I had my plan A, which was rapping, until I hit 30. And that's when sanitation called me. And I was like, yo, I tried my plan A. I'm not going to give up on my plan A, but I got to work on plan B and get my life right for a minute. And ain't no shame in working. That's $100,000 a year, benefits, pension, all of that. Which in the long term, this music don't got no pension, unfortunately.
Nope.
You don't got no medical coverage.
Nothing.
You know what I'm saying? So unfortunately, from working that job, now when I get to my older age, in my 60s, all of that, God willing,
totally
I'll have
covered
that.
for the rest of your life.
I'll have some pension. I have some benefits.
But that's what I want to tell. Like that's
There's
what
no
I want
shame in
people to
that.
know. Like having a job, you can turn your job into a hustle until your hustle turns into your dream. If you understand what I mean.
nah.
You dig? Like don't be ashamed about getting a job.
Now, my
That's
motto
just-
while working that was like, yo, I'm going to let my life dictate my job, not my job dictate my life. Meaning, if I got to stay out doing the show till 4 in the morning and be at work at 6, I'm not going to give up that show. I'm going to just do that and might call out the next
That
day.
takes a lot of sacrifice and a lot of discipline, which people lack. People wait to be motivated, but you said a lot of things that I live by, which is consistency, and that's why I'm here today. Out of everything, I stayed consistent. No matter what worked, no matter what didn't work, every day I got up and I chipped away at the goal, and I'm still chipping away at it today. So just to hear your story, I mean, I'm very inspired by it. I'm glad you came by. Definitely got a dope record. I'm gonna finish the record up, so we can definitely drop that. Do the video. We do the video in the building. And yeah, the building is here, so. Yeah, we want to get out of Coney Island for a little while.
we're gonna shoot some episodes in here.
Come up, have some good time, man. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, this is another episode of Artist to Artist. Everybody give a round of applause to Gorilla Nems from Brooklyn,
Yeah.
the Island Zone.
That's the beautiful struggle. I think outside the box, not your usual hustle. I send rounds at the squares, what I do to the puzzle. They talk tough on the net like they computer got muscles.